Good evening. Okay, wait, sorry, y'all. I gotta fix the mic. Okay, there we go. There we go. How is everybody doing? Who was first on the moonwalk? Trust in my destiny. And then we've got Dimples Wimples. How are y'all doing this evening? Now, who else is in here? We've got Mimi. We've got Shirley's divorce finally. Allegedly in Harmon. Um, yeah, that's who we have. So we're going to just talk about a few things. We are not going to be on here long. First and foremost, did everybody vote? That's what I want to make sure. I want to make sure everybody voted. And then I want to, what else do I want to say? Oh, I do want to say that I've been getting a lot of suggestions of stories to cover, and I'm going to do them. I'm just trying to, I have to get the information and decide how I'm going to present it. But I just want everybody to know that I saw all of your um, your comments, your requests, and I will be doing every single last one of them. I also want to say the Menendez brothers one that I am working on. It's going to take me. I'm trying to figure out how I want to go with that because the Menendez brothers. I think it's going to be in a year or 6 months when they actually are able to come up for parole. So I want to kind of figure out how I want to break that down so that I can be able to carry on with a part two when they have their parole hearing. But anyway, what we are going to do today is we're going to get into some true crime stories that is happening or has happened. And like I said, we won't be on here too long. Let me get everything together here, split my screen up so we could do this. Okay, where's Stream? Okay, here's StreamYard. All right, y'all. The first thing that we are going to be getting into, and I don't know if any of you have heard this, but there was a singer in Dallas who was Pow Pow. She had performed at, they'll tell you in here, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but she was performing, and then when she was done, she went off to do some or she was still on stage doing autographs, and this is when things took a turn. Hello, how are you doing, Petty Patty? And who else? And coffee is brewing. And old man Johnson's farm. How are y'all doing this evening? Okay, here we go with our first story here. And you know what YouTube gives, so Oh, she's your little cousin's best friend. Shirley's divorced finally. Oh, all I do.
Jada Arnell Thomas is no stranger to the Black Academy of Arts and Letters in downtown Dallas. As an artist,
It's the Black Academy Arts and Letters. Is that what she said? Letters in downtown Dallas, Texas.
she's had a relationship with the institution's founder, Curtis King, for years. This is video of Thomas during a shoot with NBC5 at the facility in 2020.
She came to this theater when she was 10.
Thomas shot inside the very place she'd grown up as a performer.
She says, Big Papa, aka Mr. King, thank you for providing a quote safe space for us to be able to have a platform to perform as young artists, et cetera, et cetera. And then 5, 10 minutes later, here she is on the floor. She's saying she shot me.
According to this affidavit, witnesses say Thomas was signing autographs on stage following a performance with two friends and co-stars. That's when a woman from the crowd shot her in the chest. Dallas police responded and tell us Thompson was transported to a nearby hospital in stable condition.
It's like a movie in slow motion. The person that did it kind of went out the door. So I said, which way did she go? I said, follow that girl, follow that girl, follow that girl.
Police arrested 26-year-old Micah Williams, not far from the scene of the shooting. She's charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. In a letter to patrons and supporters, King says enhanced safety measures are now in place, including additional screening and closing points of entry into the facility.
I have been trying to pause this for about 2 minutes. Okay, now, first I want to say I saw Leo Lady somewhere in here. Hey, Leo Lady and Mai Tai and that girl. How are y'all doing? It's complicated. I don't remember if I said hi to you, but I know you're in here. Okay, so can y'all imagine you're up on a stage, you have performed at a place that you've been performing at since you were 10 years old, and you are done, you're signing autographs, and this happens. This is terrible. This is terrible. So I don't wish that on anyone. But now one thing that I kind of want to I kind of want to say is that he told the people to run after her. I don't know that that would have been a smart idea. I mean, she had a gun and she went and unalived this or no, she didn't unalive her. She pow this person, and you know, they don't. She don't know her, so I don't even understand why I wouldn't run after her. She has just shot someone who she doesn't even know, and now, no. So anyway, let's get to the rest of it.
As for Jada Arnell Thomas, King told us Monday evening she wasn't awake at the time, but is still in stable condition.
She's remarkably courageous and resilient. It may take a minute, but she'll bounce back.
Is one.
In Dallas, Candace Sweat, NBC5.
Thanks for watching.
Okay, one thing I will say is that she
Stay
has
updated about breaking.
this stuff. Okay, one thing I will say, hey Lovejoy, is that she is awake, and she is talking as of today. So she is seems to be making a pretty good recovery. I don't know. Trust in My Destiny said, "Why isn't attempted unaliving the charge?" I don't know. Trust in My Destiny. I mean, yeah, Trust in My Destiny says, "I have so many questions." Yeah, like why? They said that she's mentally unstable, and they said she was kind of acting. Hey, Native in the bushes. How are you doing? They said she was kind of acting like in a robotic matter, which I don't understand what that is, but okay. But I don't know. There's so many questions that I have too. Excomplicated said this story doesn't make sense. It's very strange. I mean, and why her? Because there were other people on the stage. I just don't know why she focused on her. So, no, they did not know each other. Supposedly, they didn't know each other. So I don't know. Mai Tai says, I hope that young lady gets well. This is so sad. Yes, it is. It is. It's very sad. Dimples Wimple says she looks like young Cleo from Set It Off. Hmm. I have to relook at that again. Now, trust, poor trust in my destiny. You lost. What's up, trust in my destiny? That's all we know. You know, this woman performed. When she was done performing, the young lady, she was signing autographs, and this other lady comes up and pow pows in her chest. And that's pretty much all we know for now. I will keep you posted if there are any more updates. Now we are going to move to Cook County. I forgot to look up where Cook County is. Let me see. Let me see if I can Google right quick and find out because I totally forgot to do that. So I'm going to do that right now. Let me see. Cancel that. Oh, no, I don't have to. Cook County. Uh, where is it? Where is it? Okay. Oh, y'all telling me, okay, Chicago. Yep, you're right, Chicago. All right, thank you. See, I know y'all smart. Y'all be helping me out and whatnot. Okay, so Cook County is in Chicago, and we have a family suing Cook County Sheriff's Office after um, their family member was unalived by a fellow inmate. So let's get into that. And personally, I kind of I can kind of understand when you hear this story, and you will too. Yes, y'all do always be
Now, a
having my
CBS News
back.
Chicago exclusive. 2023 was a record year at the Cook County
Y'all
Jail
do
for
be having my back, and I appreciate it. But the thing about this story is that, at first I was kind of like, I'm sorry, y'all forgive me. I was like, well, they are inmates. I thought maybe a guard did it, but there were two inmates, and I'm like, that's kind of like combat that always happens. But when you hear this story, hey, Soul Power, when you hear this story, you will kind of see and understand why the family is suing.
inmate deaths. One of the most violent, a brutal murder inside the jail's mental health hospital.
The victim was one of 18 inmates to die in custody, and today a wrongful death lawsuit was announced against the sheriff's department. Our investigator Dave Savini here now with never before seen body camera footage.
So Joe and Erica, this is a case where an inmate is now charged with murder inside the jail. An inmate with a decade-long documented violent history of repeated attacks on cellmates and correctional officers. He was even issued a jail ID card alerting staff of his security threat. Despite that, he was put in a locked room with other inmates, including the man he's accused of killing.
Can you imagine? Hey, Jackson Tabasco, can you imagine that? There's I mean, you think the reason why inmates are inmates is because they've committed a crime. But can you imagine being an inmate who is so awful, so terrible that they have to have a special armband on them saying that they are a threat and a danger? Can you imagine? I mean, we're talking about, you know, a, a jail facility. Why on earth wasn't he put somewhere different? I don't know the answer to that question. But just imagine this man is in jail already and he has to have something on him that says he is a threat, a danger, and everything. That's the crazy. I had never heard of something like that before. I don't know if that's common everywhere, but this is my first time hearing that someone has gotten a special armband that they have to wear because they are a danger to the inmates and the guards.
August 8th, 2023, and chaos erupts in the mental health services wing of the Cook County Jail. An inmate being treated for mental health named Daquan Houston is put in handcuffs after sheriff's officers say he had just attacked another inmate named Johnny Hendricks, who was also getting mental health treatment. Listen as the sheriff's officer describes how Houston violently crushed Hendricks' head.
He hit him, and when he dropped on the ground, he started jumping on his head with both of them.
This was not just one hit and he was dead.
Mickey Fisher is Johnny Hendricks' mother.
It was multiple injuries, multiple explosive impacts.
Hendricks was pronounced dead later that day. Daquan Houston is charged with his murder. The CBS News Chicago investigators found Houston.
Okay, let me see. Excomplicated said the same thing is going on at Fulton County and Cobb County, Georgia. Some families are suing these counties as of right now. Petty Patty says they were in the mental health ward. And that to me is, hey, a lady, that to me is even worse. It's even worse when you have somebody, Petty Patty says they should have had extra security. When you have somebody, hey, Leo lady, that is incarcerated or in jail, they already they have to wear a special armband saying that they are a threat to the guards and the inmates. We're talking about mental health, someone suffering with a mental health issue. And to me, for me, in my opinion, if you are number one, an inmate, and then you have mental health issues, and then you have to wear an armband that says you're a danger to the security as well as other inmates, he should have been put in a cell by himself and been supervised anytime he was out of the cell. I mean, I know it's, hey, Butterfly 23. I know that can be a cost, but what's more expensive, settling this lawsuit or having security watch this man? Okay. So I don't know. To me, it's just Southside Chi-Town. A family is suing because their child was unalived by another inmate. And considering the circumstances, I understand and don't blame them. Hey, my I Revives, how are you doing?
Had a history of attacking other inmates and even sheriff's officers inside the jail. Houston had been living for 3 years in the jail and classified with an orange alert identification card, meaning he was a verified safety.
Why is this man in county jail for 3 years? I want to know what his charges are. Petty Patty says the guards were probably afraid of him. I'm sure they probably were. Can you imagine seeing someone jump up and down on someone's head? But what I can't figure out is how did the attack get so vicious? Why did it take so long for the guards to intervene? That's what I want to know. Major's wife says, hi, Legacy. This live is refreshing. All the election talk has my brain on overload. Yes, I know what you mean. And allegedly in Harmon says, I think they should be medicated all day. I don't know, for everybody's safety. And see, if he's in the mental health ward, why wasn't he medicated in some kind of way? But then again, um, some people are medicated when you're in the mental health ward, and some people aren't. I don't know why. But considering his past and his record, he should have been medicated on something. Jackson Tabasco says they couldn't tase him. I don't know that they have tasers in, if they could use those in the county jail, but they certainly have pepper spray that they could have used. How you doing, Thessie Jewel?
Ticking time bomb that the jail knowingly failed to defuse.
The Hendricks family announced their lawsuit today against the Cook County Sheriff's Department and Sheriff Tom Dart for failing to protect Hendricks from Houston. Attorney Al Holfeld Jr. says Houston had injured at least 5 correctional officers.
They knew about him, Tom Dart knew about him since 2014 and his proclivity to violence, to repeated violence against anyone exposed to him.
CBS uncovered Houston's Illinois Department of Human Services records from 2018, stating Houston has a documented history of unprovoked psychotic symptoms of physical aggression, posing a serious threat of harm to himself and others.
So it hurts.
Hendricks' family.
This man has psychotic tendencies. He should have been heavily medicated. Heavily. Hey, Muffin 218. She says, I feel that they need to bring the mental health hospital back. That's another thing. To me, it sounds like, and I don't know all the facts, but it sounds like Mr. Hendricks, the victim, it sounds to me like I think his mental health issues is what landed him in a jail. And somebody like that does need to be in some type of mental institution. Whereas this, what's his name, Daquan, he should have been heavily medicated, and he shouldn't have been around other inmates, because apparently, they apparently don't have enough employees on staff to monitor and supervise this man. So put him, either put somebody, don't let him roam around, or put him somewhere where he's locked up and he can't go anywhere on the ward unless he's supervised. Petty Patty said, yes, they need to bring back the insane asylum. But, there's one insane asylum I plan on doing something on that's really sad.
Says he had his own mental health problems and was homeless.
I don't want it to be swept under the rug, just like another person that just dies in jail.
But I had a good day. I had a good day.
This is Hendricks 4 days before he was murdered. Linwood police found him sleeping in a car. He was charged with misdemeanor trespassing, but he also had a warrant in Wisconsin for missing court on a battery charge. His family says he was only supposed to be in the Cook County Jail for a short time while waiting to be extradited. Instead, he ended up in a locked room with Houston.
Just miss him, but now I'm gonna miss him forever because he's not here anymore.
A lady 747 said this society wants to punish the mentally ill, not treat them, and not protect us from them. They don't get treatment like they should. I think that was Reagan, either Reagan or Bush, who decided to deinstitutionalize the people in the institution. So, and I think that this caused crime rate to go up and people not get the mental health they need. So when they need there are some people who commit crimes. His crime was sleeping in a car. I don't understand. I mean, just tell him, oh, a lady, it was it was Reagan. I mean, I personally think I wouldn't want a homeless person sleeping in my car, but I don't think I want to see them arrested either. Just get him out my car and move him along his way. So you put him in jail. He's only there for 3 days on that charge for being whatever that charge was for being in that car. He has a warrant in another state. Okay, you know, I can see that, you holding him, but did he I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what could have been done with him. Yes, he did have a warrant. But other than that, why was this man even why did they even run his record? Get the man out the car and let him go. Not to sound like Sonya or anything, but some crimes just to me aren't crimes. Soul Power said incarcerating the mentally ill has been and still is a big problem. They're locked up and thrown as throwaways. They are locked up as throwaways. I agree with you 100%. Petty Patty said he was in a locked room with this crazy man. I don't think he was in a locked room. He was in a room. There were other people there, from what I understand. Hey, Beauty is her name. Beauty is her name says this is a former mental facility turned college in California, State University, Channel Island. No, this place here is in Chicago. Native says this is not how Sonya sounds. You get me? It's complicated, said Attorney Love put a mental inmate in Fulton County jail after his mother had given the prosecution team his medical records. She told the judge that her son needed to receive his meds or he would not survive. Now, the question is, did he get his meds?
Due to pending litigation, the office strongly denies the allegations that it failed to protect. Cook County commissioners are expected to hold hearings next month about those record 18 jail deaths last year. Hendricks' family says they hope they are called to testify. Joe and Erica.
Dave, thanks.
Hey, Azuri, how you doing? That's also that's startling. 18 deaths in a year jail, yes, because they are criminals. But I don't I don't know. People do go to jail because they are criminals, but I just think that I I I don't believe in inhumane treatment. I just don't. I don't care who it is. I just don't believe in the inhumane treatment of people. Dimples Wimple says they give the family a small settlement and go on with their lives. Unfortunately, yes, I don't, but I still don't understand. I mean, 18 people. That's a little bit ridiculous. Hey, PW. Now, and I'm going to tell you. Well, let me read this comment. Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walk of Shame says it's smooth sailing with the election concerns, and suddenly anxiety kicked in. All I know is that tomorrow America will have a gender reveal party, and I hope it's a girl. I certainly agree with that. I certainly do. Now, as far as what I was saying about the humane treatment of inmates, like for example, I have my cousin was unalived by someone violently, and he is in jail. I don't wish death on him. I don't wish death on him at all. The only thing I wish on him is for him to actually tell the truth about what happened, because the story he's given sounds like a lie to me. So that's all I want, is for him to tell the truth. He's not going to ever do it. He's got his sentence. He's never getting out. But I don't wish that he be inhumanely treated. I don't wish that he gets killed by another inmate. I just don't. My thing is, keep him in there and don't ever let him out. That's all I want for him. Now we are going to move on to something very interesting. We are going to hear from Young Thug's father, and I'm not going to let you know why we're hearing from his father. I will be stopping to let you know after he says what I feel is the reason why I can understand Young Thug was in the position that he was in. And then we are going to hear from Madam D.A. Fani Willis on the case. And here we go. Petty Patty said her anxiety is kicked up too. Why ain't the video playing? Play the darn video. Okay, here we go. About to say.
Well, I was kind of,
Oh, here we go.
kind of started behind it because I was.
And in case any of you don't know, Young Thug's attorney really didn't want him to take a plea, and neither did his father.
I was in agreement with Brian and Keith. You know, let's keep fighting. You know what I'm saying? You know, let's make them continue to embarrass themselves. You know, but at the same token, my son is I've never tried to interfere with his decisions. I just try to give him the knowledge of making the best decision that he sees fit for him. And
Excomplicated said he did not. Attorney Love hid medical records. Let me tell you, that that trial, I didn't even watch it. I just watched highlights when something has done gone down. And that trial was between the DA, the prosecution witnesses, and by witnesses, I mean the police. I mean, having records and not keeping up with the records, or only turning over half the records and not the other half. It's ridiculous. Allegedly, in Harmon said, I am on pins and needles. I remember walking up to the reality setting in 2016. Don't want to repeat that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we all know it's gonna be a girl. It's a girl. I just know it. PW, I'm getting sleepy already. This is like trying to stay up until New Year's Day. I know that's right, because we gonna be up and watching. And by the way, since I'm on here, um, in tomorrow, what today? Tomorrow, we will be on here discussing. We don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully the right thing happens. And I'll be on here with myself, V. Lenore, and Bank. Lovejoy said, oh, really? I was thinking the lawyers encouraged him. Good to know. No, they did not want him to take a plea. A lady says, Dad sounds like he's in Nesto's tribe. I've heard several interviews. I've watched several interviews of this dad. And like I said, I can understand why Young Thug was in the predicament that he was in. Black Lady Love says DA Love deserved her own cell in hell. Fani can go with her. Fight me. DA Love, I'm not gonna lie, DA Love was a mess. Dimples Wimple said we must be using the altered cell service tonight. Altel cell service. What's wrong, Dimples Wimple? Or maybe Suncom. Okay, Dimples Wimples, what's wrong with my sound tonight? I think it's pretty good, except for my nose is stuffed up.
I feel great that he's going home. I feel great that he's going home, but at the same token, I still wanted to fight. But that's his decision. That's his decision. You know, on the other hand, I raised him to be the man that he is. You know,
one thing I will say is that if I were facing like the rest of my life in jail on some RICO stuff, and they offer me a plea saying this is the sentence, but we're gonna suspend it, give you time served, and you can go home, I would definitely take the plea. Come on now.
You know, I've always been in his life from a pup to now, and I'm gonna continue to be in his life. You know, and as an adult, he has to make his own decisions.
And
you know,
do you live here in Metro Atlanta?
Yes, I do.
So how does it feel like here that he's not allowed to be in Metro?
I'm totally against that because this is where he's from. You know, and to have away from him.
A district attorney take that away from him. Let me tell you something. First of all, the district attorney doesn't make that decision. The judge ultimately makes that decision. So Fani Willis, if that's who he's referring, yeah, that is who he's referring to, as a matter of fact. He oh, Major's wife. I didn't know that. She's now, does anybody know this? Wasn't the father originally charged? I did not know that. I didn't know that at all. But the judge is the one who does the sentencing, not the district attorney. So he doesn't even have that right. Soul Power says, I'm so curious of what the next 4 years will bring. Should be interesting. Yes, me too. Trust in My Destiny says, hello, Moonlighters. Please hit the like button. Thank you. Yes, please make sure you ring my doorbell on the way in or the way out. Petty Patty said, I want to know how none of those churn went to school on Cleveland Avenue. They don't have truancy officers anymore. That's interesting. I don't know. I don't know. Dimples Wimple said, unfortunately, his bacteria infested son will be back in jail. Yeah, because he's got 15 years probation, and if he if he messes up that probation, he will be going straight back to jail.
That isn't a residence from here.
Look, okay, all his family lives in Fulton County. Okay, well, then go ahead and visit him where he can live. I mean, no one is saying he can't see his family. What people are saying, hey, D-Dub, how are you? What they're saying is that he can't see his family in Fulton County. And furthermore, he is allowed to go there for special events or something like that. So if he has to perform, if there's a family reunion, a funeral, a birthday party, he can attend. So what is the problem? Soul Power says, Dimples Wimples, I don't think he will make it a year. X Complicated said, I watched this trial from day one, and Willis, in the whole prosecution office, they did not have any evidence, and the charges are 9 to 10 years old, and they have done their time. Thug had a clean record. Yeah, I hear he did have a clean record, but it's also easy to have a clean record if someone else is doing your bidding. I don't think that young Thug was I feel like he may not have been guilty of all of the things, but I believe he was guilty of something. And I just don't buy, I don't know. I just don't buy the innocence that everybody is saying. Let's see. Thought I saw another comment I wanted to read. Oh, yes, I did. Dimples Wimple said paparazzi about to catch Thug in the latest Fashion Nova dresses. Petty Patty said at Butterfly 23, I ain't never seen anything like it. Where were the parents when these kids were running rampant? Mm-hmm. Who has to go to the moon? Is it Trust in My Destiny? destiny. Is somebody acting up and they got to go to the moon? Shay B's here. Hey, Shay B, I didn't see you.
She's from another state, you know. And
Oh, PW, you said Thug's text from when he got out wasn't a good look. What was it? Let me see if I can find it. Now, his father is on the theory that him not being allowed to go, to Fulton County or whatever, it's terrible, it's horrible. Um and he says that Fani Willis isn't from there, so she shouldn't have made that decision, which first of all she didn't. But um what does where she's from have to do with anything? Where is she from? Where she's from should not have to do with anything. Man, and then watch what he does. It's coming.
and to see her take a man away from where he's from to have to go live somewhere else, that's offensive to me. I'm really offended by it.
Can you talk about, sorry, I thought you were done. I was just saying, can you talk about your bond through music? And part of his conditions is that he can still make music, still do some performances. I know you said you were hoping to get back to that with him.
Yeah, we're going to get back to work. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're YSL loaded. I'm YSL loaded.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? He is YSL Logan. So you are part of the YSL posse too, which is why if he was originally charged, I can understand why. To me, YSL is supposed to be a record company, but to me, it sounded like a gang. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I think they were saying that it was a gang. So a lady 747 says Ninja Logic. So, as far as I'm concerned, and they did things under the YSL umbrella. So, Dad here is saying he is YSL too. YSL for life. Oh, and another thing that YSL can't be seen, he can't be seen, doing any gang signs. Muffin 218 said this is the man who bought the gorilla, the record items. What record items? See, that's the thing because I don't keep up with that. I didn't keep up like that. Like I said, if something popped off that was hot, I would watch it like clips, but I just don't know the ins and outs of that trial. Hey, Bible lady, how are you doing?
And in order for us to get back to our normal life, we're going to have to put in some more work. We're going to have to put in a lot of work, but the work that we need to do foremost for it is.
Yes, this is the man. Dimples, Wimples, you are right. This is the man. Trust in my destiny, you're right. He bought equipment for the infamous Bible lady. We'll call her that, the infamous, so that it won't be confused with our Bible lady.
City of Atlanta, Fulton County, we need to get rid of the poison that's in our system.
Fani Willis.
And that's the district attorney.
That's who he's talking about.
So vote Courtney Kramer.
Now, if you don't know who Courtney Kramer is, she is a blonde hair, blue-eyed white woman who, as far as I'm concerned, more people I think will be locked up. Now, she says they wouldn't, but yeah, that's what they all say. Trust in My Destiny said because of that, IS shouldn't have had a Rule 22, and I agree with you. Bible lady should not have had a Rule 22. Dimples Wimples. Dimples Wimples said they should have bought her some better shoes. So Power said at this point, IS is a YSL member too, allegedly. Hey, it wouldn't surprise me if she said, I'm YSL Seal, I'm YSL Silly Seal, I'm YSL, the Bible lady. You never know. I'm YSL Do the Bible Study lady. Yep, you never know.
Kramer, I support Courtney Kramer to the fullest. I feel like she's the best person for the job, and it's not because of what she said about us. It's because
Yes, it
she
is.
said that, and she was in my company and never knew who I was.
Absolutely true.
What are your thoughts on his art being used against him?
And that's a daggone lie. You know, Courtney Kramer knew who this man and that entire family was. And I'm sure anybody in the state of Georgia would, because guess why? They're always on the news, because of this trial. So that's BS. That is BS. Muffin 18 said another blue-eyed devil for Nesto. Yes, she did take Bible Lady did take Woody to church a couple times, because I caught some lives. I didn't bother to put them up, but she has been and taken Woody to church, and God knows who else. Um, hey B Williams. She says YSL Silverback. Major's wife said, so what's Sylvia's new grift now that the trial is over? Well, there are still other YSL members going to trial. So she's covering that right now. Patty said he's ignorant. Why would Courtney Kramer be in his presence? He was probably at something that she was given, and that's how he was there. But you can't make me believe that this woman didn't know who he was. That's a bunch of BS. That is a bunch of BS. Dimples Wimple. She said, "I needs some of the shoes the nuns wear."
Not just the art, freedom of speech. Let's talk about his rights. We freedom of speech, man. How can you take a person's freedom of speech and say, now we're gonna tell you how you need to talk or how you supposed to talk? Who
They didn't say to no one has taken away his freedom of speech. He just can't use violent or threatening language. He can't do I guess he can't do a diss track or something. But I mean, come on, freedom of speech is a right. Um Southside Chi-Town said she went to Woody's church. She worships on Saturday. Yeah, but I have seen video where she was picking Woody up, like video that came after that incident. Why does she go on Saturday? Is she 7-Day Adventist or something? She can't be 7-Day Adventist the way she eats. I don't know. Y'all tell me. I just only get the tea from over there. Major's wife at PW said at Major's wife, it will have to be something she can do on YouTube because she is about as employable as Nesto. Hey, Thirsty Rabbit. Thirsty Rabbit said YSL Sill. Patty said those people on Cleveland Avenue did get a few years of rest before they got out. Um, is Cleveland Avenue heavily populated, or is there like a gang operating or some type of gang activity over there? Somebody let me know if you know, because I think that was brought up too in the sentencing. Hey, Mons, how are you doing?
who would feel comfortable with? Would any of us out here right now feel comfortable with someone telling us you confirmed from saying this? You can't say that. What do the Constitution play a role at? These young men, all of these young men, and some of us too.
What is it called? I don't want to say, not a rap battle. Come on, young people, tell me what it is. A diss track. A diss track, that's what it is. A diss track. Um, he can't be making diss tracks. But do you mean to tell me that's the only things he could rap about is doing diss tracks, threatening people? You know, I could care less. Furthermore, I mean, until they put down laws of what Patti LaBelle, Shaka Khan, or Mariah Carey sings, I wouldn't be outraged until something like that happened.
All of our rights are being violated right now because we're being dictated to on how we supposed to live, how we supposed to look, what we supposed to say. We have a constitution.
Yes, and that Constitution also protects law-abiding citizens. Allegedly in Harmon says, at Bible Lady, be careful asking PW where she's going late at night or why she is out late at night. Just saying, I learned my lesson. Hey, May's daughter. She says, where was Jeffrey's dad when he was growing up? Still said Jeff was so poor growing up. I didn't have much respect for Jeffrey Sr. Well, according to Jeffrey Sr., he said he's always been in his life since he was a pup. So that's what he was saying. So I don't know. I really don't know.
When are we gonna start acknowledging?
And I'm with you, Butterfly 23 boy. Bye, sir.
In our Constitution, we did away with supposed.
Oh, this is terrible. Oh,
We did away with communism. I can't tell.
See, this is the ignorance of this. He says we did away with communism. When were we a communist country here? This country has always been against communism. What is he talking about? We did away with communism. We did away. Allegedly, in Harmon said, I'll be careful of that. Thank you for the heads up. And Dimples Wimples said, no, a Bible Lady said, allegedly, in Harmon, I'll be careful. Oh, I just read that. Okay. Dimples Wimples said, I'm sick of his daddy with that nappy ass gray pubic chin hair. B. Williams said, loud and dumb. A lady is just making faces.
Down a statue. We
Here we
go up a flag. What about the laws? Let's change the laws too. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna do away with it, let's do away with all of it. Change the law. We're on a new day and time. Let's make the laws for the new day and time.
Do you think his lyrics will change now?
I hope not.
See, listen to that. Listen to that. When he says, Stacy Jules said crime enters communism. But they asked, do they think his lyrics will change? I hope not. Well, if they don't, somebody's gonna be back in jail. Leo Lady said, we know you dumb. So is your offspring. Lovejoy said, dude, why you gotta embarrass us folks? I know. And then he wants us to vote Courtney Kramer. He wants the people to vote Courtney Kramer. And he's sitting up there talking about that we did away with communism. We tore down statues and flags. Man, will you get out of here? Muffin 218 said, listening to this man, I can see how Thug turned out the way he did. Turned out the way he did. Leo Lady said, Daddy knows his son is going to commit another crime. And Lisa Lulu, hey Lisa Lulu, says he should just be thankful his son is out of jail. Yes, I have not heard Young Thug do an interview yet. If anybody else has, let me know. But I haven't heard him do an interview yet.
I would. But, he's behind the 8 ball right now. So we're going to have to justify something. We're going to have to make some justification on how we got the narrator now. And that's sad. That's sad that a man should have to do that. And that's his way of life. That's how he feeds himself. That's how he feeds his family. That's his job.
And how more. You have at Rice Street right now?
Huh?
Yeah.
We thank you guys. We do gotta head the right street.
One more quick question. Any words that you want to wish to anybody else remaining on the case? Anything you want to say to them?
Yeah, I definitely want to say something to the people that's left on this case, along with the people who are waiting to be charged. Keep your heads up, keep fighting. Sooner or later, somebody gonna have to make a decision. We need to start making the people accountable that makes the decisions for us. So we need to put the right people in office. We need to start scanning the people that we vote for.
And now that we have voting right.
Okay, I just wanted this comment that Petty Patty made saying he's talking in circles, riddles, oodles of noodles. Leo Lady said Sonya told y'all not to take a long probation. Butterfly 23 says Diddy is a whole entire fool. Bessie Jules said he's just like IS, can't let go of 15 minutes of fame. Yes, and like I said, I have not heard YSL. B. Williams said, Daddy, if you don't find something safe to do. Bessie Jules said he's just like IS, can't let go of 15 minutes. I just read that. Oh, chin. Leo Lady said, chin up. Muffin 218 says, say what? Bible Lady said, chin up in my song voice. Soul Power said, Jeff Sr. about to run for office. He's a politician now. Sweet Brown is his running mate. May's daughter said, I did see a live with his dad, and he said he was in that life. Gang life? Okay. Hey, Pen Pal 50. See, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, Thug may have had a clean record, but his record was probably clean because it sounds like everybody else was doing his bidding. Dimples Wimples said, Thug Senior Frederick Douglass. And Shay B said, in all honesty, a person can grow up poor with both parents in the home. Just because someone grew up poor doesn't mean the father wasn't in the home. James Evans was in the home with his family. You are right, Shay B. There are people who come from two-parent homes that, oh my gosh, from two-parent homes that grow, are poor, but they don't necessarily break the law. He says now, because now the thing about him being poor, I don't know anything about these people. Look how long it took me to realize that YSL and Young Thug were two different things. YSL being the gang and Young Thug being the person who is also Jeffrey. So look how long it took me to learn that. But he says he was in his life from a pup. It sounds to me like he probably might have been, because if he's about that life, then I could see why his son is about that life and learn to do it better. Black X Complicated said, at Black Lady Love, I said Fani gave Thug 300,000 watch to Wade Wilson DA. Willis tried to take all of his property illegally. Yeah, like y'all were saying, his his chain and everything. Soul Power, you do not like a pup. Petty Patty said at Shay, I agree they can grow up in poverty, but that's not an excuse for the kids not going to school and committing crimes. I would think, if you are in a poverty, I'm sorry for the background noise, y'all. If y'all are living in impoverished situations, you should want better for your child and encourage them to go to school. Thessy Jules said James Evans had those tight pants that prevented him from breaking laws. He couldn't run. Um, you know something? I have some issues with that show, even though I watch it and everything. Um, I just have issues with it. There's some things I have issues. No, there's probably a lot. Oh my God. There's probably a lot of things I can take issue with. Soul Power said at least they starved together. They ate oatmeal every day. My Tie said, "Where is old Thugger's CNA? Please come take your patient home."
Right now, it needs to be a presidential topic. It needs to be a topic about prison and reform. Why, the presidents are not discussing this during their debates. It needs to be at the forefront of the presidential debates at this time. So,
But the people got to make that
yeah,
decision.
we got to make that.
And I'm gonna leave y'all with this: in any fight you go through in life, and anything that y'all deal with in life, you can't be scared. Can't be scared. And I'm out of here.
So, what's the reason to continue to support Jeffrey and the entire family from this point moving forward?
In the words of John Lewis,
get to your kids, get to your grandkids, support them.
Okay. John Lewis. Are you serious? In the words of John Lewis. A lady says, "How many presidents?" Ah.
Tell them.
Leo Lady says, "Why y'all crime should be on the ballot." Muffin 218, yes, he loves the limelight. And Petty Patty said, "Wow, did he?" Where'd that go? Petty Patty said, "Wow, did the slime wipe?" PW is out of here. Why you out of here, PW?
You love them, hug them, just be there. Just be there.
and if you see something wrong,
There are people out there that needs jobs. There are homeless people. There are, medical care for all people. So many things out there, and they really think that prison reform should be something that the presidents are concerned with. I don't think so. D-Dub said it's annoying when people think the presidents directly affect local government. Yes, and that was a point that I was about to bring up. That is the local government that really would put something like that into effect. Dimples Wimple says natives' mouths must be running with the foil in the background. Yeah, I'm sorry for that noise in the background. PW said, I'm here. That's how old Thugger ended his press conference, like a fool. Old Thugger.
you see something that's not just, say something. Get in good trouble. In the words of John Lewis, say something.
Yeah.
Don't just sit there and let it happen if it's not your.
Did John Lewis say get in good trouble? Well, Native, I'm being accused of having sounds in my background that sound like your mouse when it goes awry. Soul Power says half politician, half gang member. Thessy Jules said, "Who gave this man a dang press conference?" I don't know. I really don't know. Allegedly in Harmon said, "The governor of your state." B. Williams says, "Why John Lewis catching strays?"
Family. Don't wait till it's your family. If you see his family, anybody else's family, like the other guys that are still here, don't just stop coming because Thug is out. There's still other guys fighting for their lives. Still come, still support the others that are still here. We will. So we thank you guys.
So I will be informing you all later on the extortment that came to me from the DA office. I was extorted.
You extorted?
He is going to inform us about the extortment that came to him from the DA's office. Allegedly, and Harmon said, I wasn't going to ask PW nothing about where she was going. Southside Chi-Town, that is a good question. Is Jeff Sr. A felon? That is a very good question. I'm gonna go with a yes, but I don't know that to be factual and actual. That's just me making an assumption. Very much so like he's doing, assuming and talking wrong. Soul Power said at Native, it's not you, it's your raggedy mouse. Y'all don't be messing with my Native. Let's see. Good Trouble. What is? Can somebody please tell me what Good Trouble is? And Thessie Jules said, "Good Trouble don't relate to gangs." I don't know what that is. I don't know what Good Trouble is. My Tai says, "Now you want to talk about prison reform? Now, yes, now." Shirley's divorce finally says Sylvia back been interviewing Thug's lawyer Keith Adams. Yes, she think she's the shit now. Well, I mean, I'm sure he's going to interview with other people too. I'm sure. Uh, y'all, did you actually see the interview? Patty Patty said the what? And D-Dub said extortment. He said extortment. And this man wants to keep jumping on camera. Muffin 218 says, geez, doesn't someone have to take account for unaliving? Yeah. And I mean the prosecution wanted a victim impact statement from the family whose child was unalive, and the judge would not hear it. They tried twice, and the judge said, mm-mm, mm-mm. BW said, Daddy, deadbeat, ain't nobody coming to see you. Desi Jules said, child, we barely listened about Thug. You are so right. Like I said, I just know bits and pieces. She says, the rest are on their own. Well, don't worry, have no fear, because Sylvia is there. Hey, Jet Black Straight, how are you doing? Okay, a lady says, yes, he said good trouble. It meant lawful protest. Okay. I, trouble for a righteous reason. Okay. I personally, like the people who are out there protesting for Young Thug. I mean, there are so many other causes. Protest because there are people out there who don't have proper housing. Protest because you can apparently get arrested for sleeping in someone's car. Like I said, I wouldn't want just anybody sleeping in my car, but I don't want them arrested and go to jail, which probably means I probably would have to take something and go out there myself, because I don't know where their headspace is in my Nesto voice. But I mean, I don't want to see somebody go to jail because they're trying to find somewhere safe and warm to rest. So I just don't understand all this protest. Yeah, y'all telling me it means B Williams says good trouble is peaceful protest, not gang affiliated red rum. And Leo Lady says, vote, protest peacefully, stand for right, don't fall for anything. And all of this, I don't know who that woman is. All of this, okay, I understand. But I just don't, protesting for an inmate who I think probably has done something, just not high up on the list. Pen Pal 50 said John Lewis used to say, "Get in good trouble." Not sure why old Thugger is saying that. Petty Patty said, "I felt sorry for the older woman that was in Pow Pow." Wait a minute. Who was in who? That was in Pow Pow while in their house minding their business. I don't think I know that case. Okay, let me play the rest of this. It's only.
I was actually started by the DA office. All right.
Okay, so we got that. Now we are going to hear with what Madam DA said. Where'd my video go? Everything's here but my video. Let me see if I can do this and get it. Did that get it? I don't know these folks. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, last one. We're just about done. I don't understand why it keeps jumping back to that video. That's interesting. Okay. Let's do this.
The jury in the YSL RICO trial returned.
Wait, because I wanna look at that. Southside Chi-Town, if you know.
For the first time since rapper Young Thug was released from jail. Two defendants now remain on trial in the case. Shannon Stillwell and DeMonte Kendrick rejected the state's plea offers last week. Today, jurors heard testimony from an Atlanta rapper who performed with the defendants, the medical examiner, and a police detective.
New at 5, only Channel 2 Action News is hearing from Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis about the dramatic conclusion to the gang racketeering case against rapper Young Thug last week. Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie's live inside the Fulton County Courthouse. And Mark, you actually asked the district attorney if it was worth all the trouble.
You know, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office says this is the grand jury room where the YSL indictment was returned against Young Thug and others, where the criminal prosecution began. And now she's talking about the way his case ended, though the YSL case itself is not over.
Any regrets? Was it worth all the trouble?
It's always worth the trouble. The reality is, as you know, I have aggressively prosecuted gang violence, and there is no one above or below the law.
Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis says though she did not agree on a deal for a plea with attorneys for Jeffrey Williams, better known as megastar hip-hop artist Young Thug, she's choosing not to publicly voice whether she agrees or disagrees with the sentence. Fulton Superior Court Judge Paige Reese Whitaker.
Sentence.
And that is, I agree with her for not commenting one way or the other. But can we just think about this for a minute? His rap name could have been anything. It could have been Blonde Dread. It could have been anything. It could have been Big Jeff. It could have been Jeff, whatever his last name is. Williams, is it? It could have been JW. It could have been a lot of things. But he chose Young Thug. Okay? And then you want somebody to look past your misdeeds and things you really. Bible lady said, Fani, anybody can get it, Willis. Yes, BW, at Atlanta Jeff, at ATL Jeff. There were so many names he could have been. And that's the name that he chose. Now, one thing I will say about this trial, Shirley's divorce finally said this trial was about lyrics. They didn't have, from what I could see. Oh, thank you so much, Thessie Jewel, for the $2 sticker. She says, enjoying our scroll down foolishness lane. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I stopped to read that and forgot what I was saying. But anyway, I mean, I just think that when you call yourself Young Thug and you do questionable activities, it shouldn't be that big of a deal that you have been arrested. Dimples Wimples to the moon. Dimples Wimples said, Geisha Jeffrey. Fancy Jules said, infamous Jeff. Oh yeah, I was talking about the trial and what Shirley's divorce finally was talking about. I mean, from what I understand and from what, because I had to go over to TikTok and it was explained to me by someone, a lot of their evidence was social media, like YouTube and not YouTube, Instagram and Facebook, and I think TikTok. I know I heard a lot about his goings on TikTok, but there was no physical evidence, and it was also about the lyrics. So, they just did not have, to me, a cohesive case. They should have got more and done better and prepped their witnesses better. I mean, to me, that Woody mess was a joke. It was a joke. PW said, was he the one in jail who had a dude sit on his lap? Who? I don't know. Who? Are you talking about Young Thug? Let's hear some more from Fani.
Thing was in the hands of Judge Whitaker.
Handed down after Williams entered a non-negotiated plea in which he pled guilty to every charge he faced in the YSL case, except for two, to which he...
By the way, in case you missed it, Fani Willis just said that the sentencing and all that was in the hands of the judge, not her. The judge said he couldn't go. See, that's what I'm saying. YSL's father, Big Jeff Sr., is up there doing interviews and stuff, and he can't even get he's not even straight on how the system works.
He pled nolo contendere, or no contest, which she says is similar to a guilty plea, except when it comes to civil lawsuits. You poured a lot of resources, took a lot of flack on this case.
You shouldn't be the district attorney if you're not willing to take flack.
I agree.
The reality is the world has been caught up with one defendant, but we indicted 28 defendants. 14 of those defendants are now disposed of cases. We have 14 more defendants to go, and so we are going to continue to pursue justice in that case.
Ms. Willis says, though Young Thug exited the Fulton County Jail soon after his plea in a car driven by one of his attorneys, he had already done a substantial amount of time in jail while awaiting or going through his trial.
He's been in jail almost 3 years, so that is not a walk in the park.
She says there is room for accountability in the complicated sentence involving 5 years commuted time served, followed by 15 years probation, to be followed by a, quote, backloaded 20-year prison term, which will also be commuted to time served if he successfully completes the probation, which is loaded with lots of special conditions.
Hope springs eternal that he will do well, because if not, he's going to land himself in prison for another 20 years.
The DA says video from gang murder cases unrelated to Williams, we reported on last week, underscores that gangs are a major driver of crime here. Now, the DA's office says Atlanta police crime stats show some key violent crime categories are down as of October 7th compared to roughly the same time in 2022, and that aggressive prosecution of gang members is a key reason why. Reporting live inside the Fulton County Grand Jury Room, Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action News.
Okay. How do I keep doing that? Okay. So I was able, hey, the Duchess, how are you doing? Um, don't you dare. Don't you dare. Okay, I was able while y'all were while that last bit of video was playing, I was able to go in and find the first tweet that he did. And this is what he has to say after being released on November the 2nd. His first tweet as a free man read, "Real plea deal, Jack." Real plea deal, Jack. You think they'll drop his probation like they did Meek Mill, Fessy Jewel? Hey, Tam Tam. We've got a member milestone from Justin's mom. She says, "Good evening, Legacy and chat." Good evening to you too. So that was his first plea. Real plea deal, Jack. Now, according to what the Google says, it is clearly a reference to his plea deal in the YSL RICO case that saw him receive time served and 15 years probation without having to flip on anyone. And that's the next thing. Why didn't he have to flip on anybody? How come he got away scot-free? I mean, look what they did to Woody. And Young Thug ain't got to do nothing. Mm-mm. Southside Chi-Town said after 7 years, they can drop it. But I think that has to be, he has to have displayed good behavior and not, you know, committed any more crimes or violated any of his probation. So, yeah, they call him Young Thug or Thugger. I mean, nothing in there. No, nothing, you know. I mean, yeah, I like ATL Jeff. That would have been a good one. That would have been a good name. But he is Young Thug, and they also call him Thugger, and probably more. Let me see. I think there was another. Okay, here's the second tweet he did. Wham! Let's drop one on these rats, Peter. I don't know what this means. Okay, they broke it down for us in this article. They say Wham is a reference to Lil Baby, so it appears Thugger wants to drop new music with the quality control rapper. However, the rats he is mentioning are unclear. Some people surmise Thug is talking about Gunna, who took a plea deal in the YSL case back in December of 2022. However, Thug's attorney mentioned during his plea deal that Gunna is one of the only co-defendants Thug wants to have contact with. So anyway, it appears that they are on good terms. Shirley's divorce papers said, "I honestly think it was the people he hung around that was trouble. Just because his rap name is Young Thug doesn't mean he is a thug." That very well may be true, but here's the thing. I was taught growing up, if you are, if there are people around you and they are doing things that are wrong, you need to stay away from those people. So, he need to stay off that internet is what he needs to do, because these tweets don't look good, and especially when you're typing in slang, because there are people who don't know what that slang means, who might interpret it in a different way. He has a big, large following, and all. One of his followers may react to something said in his tweet. More importantly, somebody from probation and parole could read these cryptic tweets that have slang in them to the point where I don't understand. They might read that and think that it's some type of intentional threat or violence. So it was very dumb of him to do those 2 tweets. I mean, to me, he should have stayed. You just got out of jail. Stay off the internet. Go find something to do. Don't he have kids? Call the kids to come to where you are so you can see him and hug him. That Mariah the scientist girl, she's the girlfriend. Spend time with her. You've been in jail for 3 years. Get you some. Do something other than to get on Twitter and make these cryptic tweets. PW said exactly, because no one has to interpret it as innocent. I agree. I agree with that. Just stay off. Go find something productive to do. Write you some rap lyrics, some new lyrics. Anything. Of course, he should have a whole bunch of them just being in jail. That's all I'm saying. But he could have found something better to do than get on Twitter with that nonsense. B. Williams said he ain't got no sense. Well, that is all I have for y'all. Make sure you ring my doorbell if you did not ring my bell when you go out. Also, if you are not a subscriber, go on ahead and subscribe and share this video. Let all the people know Legacy Moon is on YouTube and she's doing true crime and mysteries and sometimes some tea. Mai Tai says she already let him know she's waiting, legs open. Okay, see? Go on right over there. Dusty Jules said, if I were him, I'd just hum and whistle from now on. Yeah. B. Williams said all the songs he wrote in jail was about crimes. Legacy, lady, oh, shoot. Lovejoy says, go live. Thank you, Legacy Moon. Have a good evening. Have a good evening, chat. I appreciate y'all being here. Allegedly in Harmon says 3 years lockup, a lot of lyrics. It should be. He ought to have a Bible of lyrics. But I want to thank y'all who were here. You could have been anywhere else, but you were right here with me, and I truly appreciate it. Make sure you go watch V. Lenore. She's going to be doing the election watch party tonight with Native. And then tomorrow we will be on here talking about the election, depending on, what happens. After I see what happens is when I'll be able to do a more cohesive plan of what is going to go on. Soul Power said, I would love to hear a thug rap song that doesn't refer to S3X sex, money and drugs. I have, you know what? I've never heard one. Thank you, Miss HLS. How are you doing today? Yes, this was a quickie, Southside Chi-Town. I just wanted to get on here. I know, the election and things is going on, but these were some stories that I saw that I wanted to just talk about. I have some more, it's about some grandmas who are doing some things that grandmas should not do. But Shirley's divorce papers nerves are bad right now. You'll watch it when it's over. I know, right? This is really this is a this will be an election for the books. This goes in the books. So I will be at V. Lenore's, but I don't, I might be in and out because, my nerves, I don't. Mm-mm. Yes, honey, my Thai grandmas, they are cutting up and committing crimes that grandmas should not be committing. Let me see. Let me find some good music to go on out of here on. Y'all have a good evening. I appreciate all of you that are here. I appreciate all of you watching who will watch the replay. And I also appreciate those of you who already share my videos, because I do look at my shares, and I appreciate that a lot of you share the videos. If you did not check out the strawberry letter that I did on Sunday. Make sure you check that out. Also, Native and I were live on our regular Friday After Dark show, and then we ended up on here again on set. Well, no, he was mysteriously beamed up on the platform. He has no idea how or anything like that, but so we ended up doing an after dark. And if you missed that, you need to go back and check it out because that was something to see. Good night, y'all, and I will see y'all tomorrow.